So what is the other thing that is happening the U.S.? We have the agribusiness. We have many, because also Cargill is also involved there. But the main one, and the big one, and the one that people really know, and that does many, and that commits many crimes right here, is Monsanto. We know about Monsanto. And Monsanto it's all over Latin America. Unfortunately, Cristina Fernandez de Kirchner already, she had recently approved a more bioengineered seeds with Monsanto, and she thinks it's a great deal to help the economy in Argentina. So we have, so much contradiction in Latin America and in these governments. But the thing in Paraguay, for example, they wanted to introduce this new seed, transgenic, okay, or transgenica. It's easier for me to say transgenica. It's how you say, genetically engineered, transgenica. So when I say transgenic, it's genetically engineered. So they wanted to, Monsanto wanted to introduce that. And of course, the landowners, they work with this transnational, with Monsanto. There is Unión de Gremios de Productores, the Union of Association of Producers in English, and they are really the defenders of Monsanto. They work hand in hand because they are the ones who use, Monsanto, and the ones who benefit. So Monsanto wanted to introduce this new seed on top of the ones that they already use. It's not that this is the first one. It's one new one. And the government the government department that deals with seeds said no, we have to study and all that. So and the peasants were against Monsanto, of course. They are always against, they know exactly what Monsanto and these seeds are. So the Union of Producers was planning a demonstration where they will have big tractors all over the nation, blocking all the roads, and to protest and bring Monsanto to push for this seed, right? Peace Corps. This nice U.S. organization that sends youth all over Latin America and all that, right? And USA that works for the democracy and, because we want these Latin American brothers and sisters to be so democratic. And then we have the Centro Cultural, I'm saying in Spanish, sorry, Paraguay American Cultural Center, and of course, the Chamber of Commerce. When I mentioned about the, before the transnational, the landowners, the politicians that are tied to Monsanto and to the U.S., there is no country in Latin America, and that's what it's important when I was mentioning about Stroessner and the whole dictatorship, which, by the way, it's those still, he's not, he's dead and all that, but still, that still lives to today, that culture of repression, and it was seen right now. So it's not that Lugo won and, all this repression and dictatorship for years and years is gone. That is still in place. The USA, they have programs. They control everything in Paraguay. Well, not everything. I mean, there are organizations that are controlled, but they control the majority. They control governments, departments of government, Department of Justice, most departments of government. They control cultural organizations. They control youth organizations, women's organizations. They are in every facet. There is no other country in Latin America that is controlled by US, and it's USA, the NED, and all these, CIA, US government organizations. The US government controls Paraguay in no way that other countries in Latin America are controlled. And that it's why it's important to put that into context when we think about the resistance, how hard it can be for the resistance that they had to live in exile because first because of the repression, because of the Plan Condor, because the crimes against them, but also because everything is against the, how can they, how they try to divide and conquer. So you can imagine how hard it is, the resistance, to build resistance in Paraguay. And that, compañeras and compañeros, I cannot say that too many times, not enough. It is something that it's so important to keep here. And Paraguay it's a very different in terms of the dominion of U.S. organizations to control. One of these is the plan, what it's called the Umbral program. And it's in the second phase of the Umbral program. And you can see over 30 million, but I don't even like to say 30 million, 2 million. It's irrelevant, the amount of money, because compared to Paraguay, it's not the amount of money, it's what it does. And like 1 million here is not the same thing as 1 million in Paraguay, the effect and what it can buy. So when it says 30 million, you can think of $30 trillion, as if it's the United States. He's signing the second phase of Plan Umbral. It's a 2-year program built upon the success of Paraguay's first one, threshold program, signed in May 2006, and aims to institutionalize key reforms in public administration and to support anti-corruption activities in law enforcement, the judiciary, customs, and the healthcare sectors. This program is designed to assist countries that are on the threshold of eligibility for the Millennium Challenge account projects, which you know about the Hillary Clinton and the connections to that. But anyway, the U.S. Department of Justice and Treasury will also be involved in implementing portions of the program. So this is the direct connection with all those Peace Corps and USA. This is just one of those, but it shows how the United States controls. It's la triple frontera, the triple border, which is the border between Argentina, Brazil, and Paraguay. Now, why is this important? It's important. I mean, there is bridge connecting Argentina to Brazil and Brazil to Paraguay, very nice and that. But there is a big community of Arab people, Lebanese. And it has been said for many years, I don't know if you have read, it's like, this Al-Qaeda cell in the Triple Frontera. That's what they refer to. It is a community that is active in doing fundraisers and sending to Lebanon. They send it to Hamas, they send it to Hezbollah, which they feel is their own, it's their own movement. That's what they feel. So that's the Al-Qaeda danger that the United States, and that's the important. That's what I put it there, because it's all this interest. So there is a lot of U.S. troops movement in the area of surveillance, etc. And speaking about surveillance, about the Fourth Fleet, that was resurrected 2 years ago. Estigarribia. That is the U.S. base in Paraguay. And it is very important because it's a Lugo, continuity. It's not like Correa that he dismissed and canceled the contract. This is still in. So, and this is very important for the United States because if you remember the place of Paraguay, it's in the heart of Latin America. It's right there, on Brazil. right there in Argentina. And, you know, these countries there have, you know, more trade with China and Russia, and, you know, and they have Al-Qaeda. So this is very important, and they have, you know, this base is going to take a lot of importance now with, hopefully the coup will revert, but if it doesn't, and even if it does, they will continue harboring. You know what that is, right? The drones. You know that now it's also Latin America, oh, you know, to protect these people that are, you know, to protect them from narcotraficantes and all this. But they will be now in Latin America and the Caribbean. That includes the presence in Paraguay too, around that area, and, you know, just to protect us from Al-Qaeda. Yeah.